Hello, and today I'm going to be reviewing Killzone Shadow Fall. I completed it in about a week, and I thought it was quite good. I've played all the Killzones, and I think the series has been going downhill since the second one. Obviously my opinion that, but yeah, I thought let's start with let's make this a bit of a shit sandwich, shall we? Some good, and then the bad stuff, and then we'll end with some more good stuff. So good. It looked damn good on the PS4, with a few occasions where it didn't, but I'll get into that in a minute. It looked really crisp. The graphics were good. And yeah, it's a step up from the last game, graphics wise, and yeah, the shooting mechanics, the guns felt as good as they did in this third one, so that's still good. They changed the default assault rifle for the ISA. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, it looks very sci-fi and cool, but it has no magnification scope on it. For some reason, I don't think that's a good idea, really. But there you go. It has a secondary firing, which is to hold the button down. It builds up energy and fires a bigger shot to do more damage to tanks and what have you. But yeah, don't think that was a good idea. But all the other weapons are fine. And story-wise, it was a good story. The main reason why I bought this, I was going to protest and not buy this one, because I thought the series was going downhill when I bought the third one. But since it's one of the only full PlayStation 4 games out yet for the PS4, I thought it looked quite good, like the kind of Cold War theme to it. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna have to get this. But this also was one of the biggest downfalls. It's copying a lot of other games. Like it's got big open areas, and different ways of playing the game, which basically means either go in gung ho and blow shit up, or go in stealthily, which is fine, I guess. But everyone's doing the stealth thing, and Killzone's never been about stealth. It's been all about blowing shit up and going in full force. So this was a bit of a disappointment. If there is a stealth option, I try to go for it, but I'm shit at stealth. So I usually go in, kill a couple guys stealthily, get noticed, and then have to play the rest of the game, the rest of the level. All guns blazing, which I think is probably what most people do, to be fair. You can using stealth, you can hack into bots and stuff like that. You have to destroy cameras so they don't spot you, things like that. And you've got a little ability that lets you see people through walls and stuff, like a lot of other games have been doing recently. And story-wise, again, yes, Cold War theme, things are escalating into a war situation, and you've got to solve them by going behind the Iron Curtain, as it were, or Iron Walls, quite literally Iron Walls in this one, to get rid of terrorists and stuff like that, which is very Call of Duty, and it talks about big scale things are happening, but basically it feels very out of touch, because every cutscene, every end of mission, you go back to your kind of commander, and he tells you all this stuff is happening, and you don't get to see it, or it doesn't feel real, because the only person that you're talking to is him, basically. You get a few more characters near the end, but it's basically him and you talking in this room about all this bad stuff that's happening to your people, but you're not seeing any of it, and it doesn't feel very connected to the world. You just feel like you're going from one fight to the next, a bit like the Call of Duty games, quite literally. You're going from one set piece to the next set piece, and blah blah blah, and it's but they had some good moral issues raised in the game in a couple of places, and I thought was actually pretty interesting. And obviously the general story is quite good, but yeah, it's gone downhill, and I think maybe they should knock off the Killzone series. You know, I know it makes some money, but if you go ahead, knock out the Killzone series and start a new shooter, you go, and it's made by you guys, I'm sure they would still buy it. Just not, they're not just going to not buy it because it's not got the Killzone name on it. But yeah, that's my opinion again. I haven't played it online yet, so I'll give my. Hopefully, it's gone back to the highlights of the second game. Had the best, probably one of the best online shooters I've ever played. So I was very disappointed by it in 3. So we'll see. We'll see what that's like. I'll give that a review in a couple of weeks, maybe, when I've got to grips with it properly. But ending on good, the good side. The musical score was excellent. Had a few really good tunes that I was humming along to, and really suited the series and the theme. That's another thing why I like the Killzone series. It was very in this game you're pretty much going solo, like I said, like a Call of Duty game. You're going in, killing people on your own, but that's not the Killzone series. That's not been the Killzone series. You know, in the second one and all the others, pretty much, it made you feel like you're in an actual war. You had other people fighting alongside you. You were fighting street for street. Which obviously gave it a bit of a bad reputation for being very bland and very samey. But that's how wars are. You don't go in 10 minutes fighting in a city and then jump straight to a mountaintop fighting in snow, and then 10 minutes later you're in a jungle. You know, when you're at war, you fight in a city, especially the capital, like in the second one. You fight for street. Every fight is touch and go. So yeah, I think they should have ignored some of the critics and just kept what they're good at, which is proper solid war stories, and not going solo like Call of Duty and stuff. But yeah, overall I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, when it comes to next gen, it didn't feel like a big step up. Some of the next gen stuff, kind of things they've added into it, felt a little bit shoehorned in. You've got a little bot that follows you around that can attack, defend, blah blah blah. But you can and you change its characteristics. You know, if you wanted to fight the enemy or defend you, you do it using the touchpad. And maybe it's just because I'm not used to it, but it just felt a bit awkward, and I couldn't do it quickly during the heat of battle. And to be honest, I couldn't be arsed half the time to use the touchpad. Again, probably because I'm not used to it, and hopefully after about 10 games, well, okay, maybe not quite that many, maybe 3 games, it will come to be second nature to me. But yeah, you know, there you go. So 7.5 out of 10. Disappointing because it's next gen and it's Killzone and it's still not gone back to its heyday. But what can you do? It's a good solid shooter with quite a good story. Looks great, sounds great. And I'll come back to you on the verdict of the online version. Alright, see ya.